Hello everyone, and welcome back to this 13th episode of our series Brilliancies by Mikhail. And today we are going to analyze the game of Mikhail played against Alexander Koblenz in the Riga Rapid 1961. So there's not much to say about this game because this game speaks for itself, and this is one of the great masterpieces from Mikhail, including a very nice sacrifice. So I will start the guesswork right from the first move itself. But before that, I want to explain this position a little bit. So let's dive into the game right away. So Mikhail Tal is with the white pieces and is playing Alexander Koblenz, which is a very strong rated player of that time, with the black pieces. And if you see the position, Tal has nicely activated the bishop, the knights, the rook is on the nice little open file, and he has a nice little break in the center too. And let's see how Tal makes the best out of this. So I will allow you guys to pause the video here for some time and find the best for Tal. But a very nice hint for you guys is that while finding this move, think with the spirit of Tal. I mean, that's all what I can say. In order to hint you guys to find this move. So feel free to pause the video here and find the move that Tal plays with the white pieces. Yeah, for those who could do this, you're now a great spotter of good compensation. And for those who want to enjoy this show, Tal plays e capture on f6 here, sacrificing the whole queen. Of course, you have to take it. I mean, you have lost a piece, so Alexander captures, your bishop captures on f3, and now Tal plays bishop captures on f3. And okay, your bishop is under attack, you have rook is under attack on a8, and you can save only one of these. So Alexander pushes d5. He says, well, okay, I want to save my rook, you can take my bishop, and after pawn captures on e7, it will be a fairly equal position. But the problem is if you capture it right away, just queen captures on f4 with the check, it hits the bishop, hits the king, just a minute, sorry, yeah, hits the king on c1, and you lose the piece back. So there's no use of capturing the bishop right away. So Tal finds a nice intermediate here. And again, this is a moment where I can allow you guys to pause the video for a couple of seconds while you find this nice move from Mikhail Tal. It's a thing that majority of the players miss while analyzing this game. But if you guys are a nice spotter of tactics, you will surely find. So you can try this move while I give you a couple of seconds. Yeah, for those who could get it, congratulations. I mean, it's very difficult to find this move, especially after sacrificing queen for just knight on f6. But Tal just creates another brilliancy in the same game by sacrificing another piece, and he sacrifices his knight, captures on e6. And what do you do here? You have to just recapture. If you move your queen, then just pawn captures on e7, or even knight captures on g7 check. There are lots and lots of winning moves here for Tal. I mean, you just can't keep a track. There is bishop d5, there is knight d5, everything is falling apart very quickly. So f captures on e6 by Alexander, and now Tal plays bishop to h5 with a check. Just trying to push the king either way. None of this works. I mean, in the game, Alexander plays g6, bishop g6 check, king to f8. That doesn't make a difference even if you play king to f8 first. And now Tal plays f captures on e7 with a check. And this is it. I mean, this is already done, but not to the complete what you can say. It's not a complete massacre till now. There is only one move. If you play king g8, just e8 equals queen. You're still winning as white after captures. Now you have a pair of bishop and a rook versus queen, and that's too much of a compensation. I mean, you still have queen captures on f4 with a check. Sorry, excuse me for that. Queen captures on f4 with a check, but that doesn't help now because after king b1, just queen captures on h4, bishop captures on d7, you lose the d7 knight for the h4 bishop. You still are down two pieces and a rook for the queen and completely losing the game as black. So of course Alexander cannot allow Tal so much of a compensation, so he plays the right move, king to g7 here, and now Tal cannot go for the same plan. I mean, you can go, but after captures, the pieces are much more coordinated. You also lose the bishop on e8 because now the two rooks nicely cover the square twice, so you can't go for the same tactic. But Tal eventually finds the best move, engine move here, and he plays bishop to g3, and he says, well, okay, you can take the bishop, but then you lose the queen with this nice little discord check. So technically you can't take the bishop tactically. So again, what can Alexander do here? Now, following to the basic chess principles, Alexander could have moved this queen away from this danger zone like Any player would do the same. But he decides to improve his knight's position first. He plays knight to f6, trying to grab the e7 pawn, and now Tal plays a brilliant stuff. So again, feel free to pause the video while I give you a couple of seconds. Yeah, for those who could find it, excellent. Now you're perfect in finding continuations of this attack, and brings the last piece in the game that is not included. He plays the move rook h to e1 here, and this is completely insane. You still can't take the bishop due to the same problem, and that is why I insisted that black should move the queen from this entire diagonal so that the bishop is automatically threatened. And after rook h3 even you're attacking the e6 pawn, there is no practical way to defend it. Of course, you can't take this because then just pawn to f5, you hit the pawn twice, and there is no way this pawn is lost now. And the move that, of course, Alexander played here after rook to e1 was, I think he played b4 here. Yeah, he played pawn to b4 here, trying to say that, okay, you can take my e6 pawn, I take your knight. But Tal again sacrifices yet another knight here, and he plays rook captures on e6. He says, well, okay, you can have the knight. You have b captures on c3 by Alexander, and now Tal plays f5. And he says, well, I'm defending my rook. The rook is defending the pawn. The pawn is defending the bishop too. Sorry, like this. And meanwhile, my bishop on g3 is attacking the queen on c7. And a very important thing to note in this entire position, when you're handling positions like this, whereby compensation is the key to a successful attack, you should always take into consider that what happens if black tries to return up material. Like at every moment in this game, Tal has ensured that black cannot sacrifice his queen for anything. Like if queen captures on g3, the pawn captures. The position may seem to be equal after captures, is still an equal position, but Tal is up a lot of pawns. I mean, it's 3 versus 6. So Tal is up 3 pawns versus an equal material. I mean, 2 rooks and a bishop versus 2 rooks and a knight, and Tal is up 3 pawns. So Tal is completely winning the game. So Tal is ensuring that there is no such opportunity for black to give back the material. And that is what exactly you will see in the future too. You have queen to b7 trying to threaten a nice little checkmate here by Alexander, and now pawn to b3 by Tal. Tal says, well, not a chance now. Queen to d7 by Alexander, now trying to pressurize on the rook, also defending the pawn on d5, and now Tal plays bishop to e5. She says, well, okay, it's done. Now your knight is gone, and once your knight is gone, there is, 2 bishops and a rook. With such advanced pawns, it's a hopeless position for black to play. So Alexander decides to play the best move. He decides to give up the queen. Your queen captures on e6, f captures on e6, and now king captures on g6 by Alexander. And at this position, when I saw this game first without any engine analysis, I realized that, black is actually doing better. Uh, at least, if you speak positionally. He has controlled all this storm. These are double pawns, so rook e8 will pick all of these. And, black will probably get not a better, but at least a drawish position. But I missed one thing, and that is rook to f1. And this move is so powerful. I mean, if you see on the top, this move appears that you are just attacking a knight, but the problem is this knight is pinned. And the second problem is that there is no way for these 2 rooks to defend this knight anyway. You can't even like play rook f8. You play rook f8, just takes. You bring the other rook to f8, just pawn to e7, wins the game for me. So what do? Well, Alexander tries knight to h7, and he feels that he can move this knight, sacrifice one of the rooks, and still hang over of the game. But it's not so. And Tal finds a brilliant continuation here. Tal plays bishop captures on h8. You have rook captures on h8. And now, again, feel free to pause the video for finding the best move that Tal plays here to finish off the game in style. Yeah, for those who would do it, you're a nice end game spotter, because this requires a much more deeper vision. And for those who want to enjoy the show, Tal plays rook to f8, sacrificing the last rook on the board. And he sacrifices literally everything. I mean, what do you do here? You cannot capture with the knight because just e8 queens. You're down a queen, you're losing the game. There is no way to win this. And if you capture with a rook, which happened in the game, just pawn captures. You get a new queen, knight captures, and now pawn to e7, attacking the knight. There is no way to defend against pawn captures on f6 and pawn to e8. There is only one way, that Alexander plays king to f7. After captures, now you get a completely losing endgame, whereby you have a 2 versus 1, majority on the queen side also, and you have a 2 versus 1 majority on the king side also. That means that after, let's say, king d1, king e7, king e2, king d6, king to d3, even if to e5 is played, there is no way of black to win this game. I mean, you still have this a4, b4, just b4, and there is no way. You can't step on the king side because then a4 and b5 will create a passer for the white pieces. And if you try to go back, then just g4. Now I'm going to do the same thing over this file, and you know, I'm completely winning the game. There is no way for black to survive here. So that is why after king to d1 here, after king d1 played by Mikhail Tal, Alexander Koblenz resigned the game because he realized that this endgame is hopeless and cannot be played at any level. I mean, you cannot even play this endgame at a national or international level to uh, leave apart any tournament where Mikhail Tal, such a legend, is playing. So again, extremely fierce attack and a nice little queen sacrifice of Mikhail Tal. This game is also famous for Tal sacrificing everything, literally everything, and still winning with nice little winning endgame. And this just keeps us telling the amount of skills and tactical vision that Tal had, and surely that we can learn from him. In this coming videos and in this entire analysis that we are conducting. So again, a nice, exciting game from Tal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, thank you very much for following. I've been hearing a lot of requests and a lot of you know appreciation. So thank you very much. Keep following like this. Keep subscribing, and also do share as much as possible. Tactical chess is one of the very key concepts in chess, and every chess player must know it thoroughly. So thank you once again, and do stay tuned because we are going to be back again with the 14th episode, I think, yeah, 13th and 14th episode of Brilliancies and Mikhail Tal, and with the same excitement and with the same drama over the board that Tal creates in almost every game.